impromptu live stream, the first in a while. Welcome back. It's good to be with you all. For those of you who may be new to the channel, my name is Dave Knapp. I'm the man on the Manjaro. I have an online obesity medicine news platform called On the Pen. And On the Pen seeks to bring information about obesity medicine to the people who need it the most, people living with obesity, so that they can have more competent and confident conversations with their medical providing team. And that slogan or tagline has never hit harder than it has today. Saying it out loud, it's good to feel good to be with you. Hi DJ, hi Debbie, hi Nicole, hi Clara, hi Daphne, hi Colleen. It's good to see you. It's good to see you all. I'm feeling well enough to do a live today. I wanted to jump on and give an update about my health. I know that many of you have been following along on Substack. People have been like, Dave, take it easy. You don't need to update us. But I've been pretty bedridden for the last few days. And because I've spent so much time in bed, I have written a lot of Substack articles. So we'll get into that a little bit more. But I want to get into what happened and what is happening and sort of where I go from here from a health standpoint. If you haven't been keeping up on Substack, now I can't tell you how often I'm going to feel good enough to jump on and do a live stream. This is, I feel this morning, despite fighting like a chest cold that I've developed over the last couple of days, something in our house, I have not felt this well, upright, since before all this happened. So basically what happened is last Saturday and the days leading up to Saturday, I had been feeling random bursts of feeling faint, like I was going to pass out. And I thought, you know, we've got walking pneumonia in our house. We've got a lot of different things going around. I'm probably just fighting that. I'll just rest for a little bit and go about my business. And that's what I did for about 3 or 4 days prior to Saturday. And on Saturday morning, I felt particularly faint, and I felt it all morning long. And I probably at that point should have gone to the doctor. But being a bullheaded man, I ignored it and I just powered through. We wanted to go to the camper for Memorial Day weekend. I really did not want how I was feeling to impede the plans of the family. We were meeting some friends up there. All you know that we've got a new camper. I was eager to get up there and spend like a 4-day weekend up at the camper. And so I went to the grocery store with my second to oldest son, Cooper. Thank God that he was there with me. And as we moved through the grocery store, I felt more and more faint, like I was going to lose consciousness. I could tell my blood pressure was elevated, my heart rate was up, and I felt like I was going to pass out. I want to just pause and say hello to Christine, Spoonie, Samantha, Daphne, Gina, Sue the Dude, Jazzy, Candy, Pammy, Joe, Michelle, Mindy, Chris, Sue the Dude, and everybody I said hi to before. Thank you for being here. So as we moved through the grocery store, I kept telling my son Cooper, I said, Daddy is not doing good. I'm not doing good, buddy. I'm feeling not well. We need to get out of here. And so we went through the the checkout aisle, got through that, and I told him, buddy, I can't walk to the car. Daddy's not doing well. Let's go sit down on a bench. So we sat down on a bench. I called my wife. I said, hey, I gotta have you come pick me up from Hy-Vee and take me to the hospital. She's like, what's going on? She was just getting in the shower and had our other 3 children, and you know, we live 10 minutes away from the grocery store. And she said, I'll get there as soon as I can, just hang on. And so I called my mom as I continued to feel worse, and I was like, I'm afraid that I'm gonna pass out here, and there's just Cooper's here with me, and I'm very concerned about I don't want to have him have some sort of traumatic event here and watch his dad have a heart attack or pass out or whatever it may be. And so my mom rushed over and she called back a minute later and she said, why don't you just call an ambulance? So we called an ambulance. The ambulance was the first to arrive. By that time, Cooper and I had made our way over to the pharmacy section where the ladies really helped me. They helped me lay down in kind of a triage room that they had. Took my blood pressure, which was at that time about 180 over 110, with my heart rate just going out of control. Very, very, very high heart rate. And so they took me by ambulance. My mom arrived. My wife arrived shortly thereafter. And, you know, they had my kids taken care of. My wife followed me to the emergency room. At the emergency room, it was kind of a different story. My heart settled down a little bit. Blood pressure came down to, you know, like an elevated number, and my heart rate was still kind of up. My heart rate tends to run high. My heart rate has always run in the 90s, the low 90s, my whole adult life. Like upper 80s, lower 90s is pretty normal for me. So it settled back down to about 98, which was still a little bit high for me. But then they did a chest x-ray, and the chest x-ray came back and it showed cardiomegaly, which is a medical term for enlargement of the heart. They had a previous x-ray that we had done shortly after I started Mounjaro. My electrolytes got off and I went into the ER because I was feeling like really bad heart palpitations and chest pains. So this was back in 2020, was it 2022? So they had a comparative x-ray to look at. And so they diagnosed cardiomegaly, an enlargement of the heart. And then they noted some streaking in my lungs, and that one of my lungs was showing a partial collapse, and that there was a atelectasis, or I can't remember the medical word, but basically chest congestion where my heart wasn't keeping up. So it's hard to know at this point whether that was transient and due to something viral or not. And so this prompted, obviously, when they got me out of the hospital, this prompted a cardiology visit, which I had a couple of days ago. In the meantime, the feeling faint and the feeling like I was going to pass out hasn't really gone away when I'm upright. And I've had like little bouts of feeling that way. And so it's kind of kept me down for the count. Just being fully transparent, they put me on a ACE inhibitor, lisinopril, which is designed to bring your blood pressure down. But my blood pressure isn't tremendously high. It's typically running in the 130s, 140s over anywhere from 75 to 85. So not terrible blood pressure. And now with the ACE inhibitor, it's coming down even a little bit more to pretty normal ranges. So the medicine is kind of helping my heart to have less resistance. So I'm hoping that the congestion, the heart congestion that they're talking about, kind of is lifting, and just really trying to take it easy so that I can recover from whatever this is. At the cardiology appointment, they ran extra labs. They ran labs in the ER. All of my labs are looking fantastic. Thank you, Mounjaro. My lipids are a little bit elevated, but they're much lower than they were when I started a GLP-1 and got my type 2 diabetes diagnosis. So I'm sure they'll probably want to put me on a statin because even though my triglycerides were good, my good cholesterol was a little bit low and my bad cholesterol was a little bit high. So I'm sure they'll want to put me on a statin given my heart history and my family history and all that. They ordered an echocardiogram, a stress test. I'm going later this morning to get a Holter monitor on. With the echocardiogram, this is like you gotta love the American healthcare system. They can't get me in for an echocardiogram until September, and so we've been trying to figure out how to get into one of the clinics in the surrounding areas. There's a lot of rural hospitals in Iowa that have a shorter wait list for things like this, so we're trying to get a appointment in one of these smaller clinics. And so that's what we've been working on. But I get a Holter monitor put on today. As soon as I feel good enough, I'm gonna get that stress test to kind of rule other things out. But the good news right now is that all my labs are showing really good. The blood pressure is down, it's controlled. So there's a lot of like positive things to hold on to. I guess the biggest thing for me is the stress of not being able to be upright and feel myself. I missed the podcast for the first time since I started it back in January of 2024. So first time in almost a year and a half that I've missed the podcast. So, you know, the stress of not being 100%, we just of course got an office. So I just signed a lease for an office like several days before this. Had just started moving my studio in there. So my studio is like half here and half there right now. So just sort of the stress of taking on the extra income or the extra expense of that. Of course, we brought on part-time an employee about a week and a half ago with promises of more hours and stuff. And so, you know, all this as we're right in the season of growing here and on the pen, it's, you know, that's where my stress comes from right now. If you want to support what we're doing, please, the easiest way to do it is just to go to onthepen.substack.com. The paid membership is $12.99 a month. About 90% of the articles that we put up at Substack are completely free. So if you just sign up and get on our mailing list, that's helpful. But if you want to support what we're doing, it's $12.99 a month for the Substack. That just helps us to continue to grow, and it takes the pressure off of me to feel like we've got to have podcasts and sponsorships and making everybody happy, even though we're down for the count right now. So people have asked about starting a GoFundMe and things like that. And I just tell them, you know, right now that's not necessary. But if you want to support what we're doing, onthepen.substack.com. If you just want to do the paid membership for $12.99 a month, is a very easy way to support the work we're doing. If you believe in what we're doing, and if we can continue to grow that, that really helps to take the stress off of me, because growth was definitely considered when we decided to take this leap of faith and grow. And I know that regardless of what happens, I know that God is going to provide for us and take care of us. And my wife has been a great reminder of that amidst all the stress and anxiety that comes with a health event like this. I'm feeling very thankful to be here. I'm feeling kind of a renewed perspective on life. It was a very shocking moment to hear in the emergency room the words enlargement of the heart, and to hear that it wasn't keeping up. Those words will change you. Those words will change you. So just a renewed perspective. And it's one of those things my sister always tells me, you don't know your good breaks from your bad breaks. And definitely this one, while not ideal, I really feel like as a dad, as a husband, as a follower of Jesus, as a community leader, I think given me fresh perspective. It's given me fresh perspective on my own health. I am resolved to cut out anything in my diet or lifestyle that is not beneficial to my heart. You know, I don't feel like I was doing a lot that was, you know, obvious, but everything that I can change, we are. And so that's where we're at. That's where we're at today. wanted to jump on. I wanted to give you all an update because I know that you all have been like, where is Dave at? What is he doing? How is he doing? Again, I'm hoping that this is the start of feeling better. The fact that I'm on here with you and talking to you today is a testament to feeling better, feeling like I can be up and about and upright without the lightheadedness or faintness. But I don't know, you know, it comes and it goes. And so the Substack will be the main place where we update information. I'm hoping that we'll be able to get back to the rhythm of the podcast. I hope that we will, I hope that people on YouTube are crazy. I'm hoping that we'll be able to get back to somewhat of a normal rhythm, but Substack is going to be the place that we're going to be living in the meantime. And I just want to say a personal thank you to all of you. The amount of messages, texts, emails, well wishes, prayers, thoughts that I have received from this community have been, I've felt them. I mean, I have felt them. They have made a difference in my recovery here. And I just want to thank you all. I know that there are others in this community who are struggling with their own health issues as well. I want you to know that you all are on my prayer list. I think of you, Spoonie. I think of your health issues that you're dealing with again. So I just want to say thank you to this community for all that you've done for me. Thank you for all the support that you've given me, and we'll continue to grow here. By the grace of God, we'll fight another day and be better for it. So if you want to support the work that we're doing, it's onthepen.substack.com. We've even had several, I've been updating my own personal health journey there. Again, just because it's easier to write than it is to record sometimes when you're feeling this way. But we've even done some articles in the last couple of days that are pretty interesting. So I know that it will be worth it. I'll take a few questions that you may have. Sue said, Dave, are your kids anxious? I don't think so. You know, I haven't, you know, been alarming or alarmist with them about this at all, because there's so many things that we don't know. Just reminding them that, you know, Daddy's not feeling well right now, but God's in control and we can trust God. You know, one of the cool things, while I was in the middle of this thing at the grocery store, I was very, very nervous about what was transpiring. And my son, Cooper, looked at me and he said, "It's okay, Dad. God's always with you." And so that was a sweet moment that I'll never forget, and something that we definitely cling to as a family, regardless of what's going on. We know that God's in control. Any other questions that y'all have, I'm happy to take them here for a couple more minutes. Again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being the best part of what we do and why we do what we do at On the Pen. This has given me all a fresh perspective on everything, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful today to have my health and to be here with you. Not a question, but I subscribed to Substack last week and have been loving the content, praying for a full recovery. Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate that. No, so people have asked me about the Manjaro. I made a Substack about this too, because I got that question a lot. Do you think it's the Manjaro? I just took my Manjaro shot last night. No, I don't. I think if anything, the Manjaro delayed this. Like I told you, my labs have been great. Coming back like nearly perfect, except for some lipids that need to come down a little bit. My blood pressure is decent. If anything, Manjaro kept this thing from coming off the rails a year or a year and a half ago. So I'm thankful for these medications that are despite our best efforts, sometimes, you know, helping us to stay the healthiest version of ourselves, especially those of us living with type 2 diabetes and everything that comes along with that. Any other questions I'll take here for about the next minute. Thank you for all the blessings, kind comments, kind words. If you'd hit the thumbs up button, that would really help get this video out so other people can see the story and find out what's going on and find out how to help. onthepen.substack.com. That's if we can continue to grow that, it takes the pressure off of some of the business moves that we've made. Not that that's your responsibility, but I think that if you jump over to the Substack, I don't think you'll regret sponsoring what we do there. There's a special chat in there for paid subscribers. I don't respond as well on the social media platforms like YouTube and TikTok to comments, but I respond to just about everything on Substack. It's just easier to have everything sort of live there. It's an overwhelming amount when you every video that we've done on TikTok for the last week has gone, 50,000 views, and so you get hundreds and hundreds of comments. It's just too overwhelming to keep up with. But Substack, I find, is a really good funnel. And for those of you who don't know what Substack is, it's simply if you go to onthepen.substack.com and put your email address in, it's completely free to sign up. You just get all my news delivered to your email. So then we're never subservient to the algorithm, right? You always just get the news, and then you can read the headline and you go, I'm interested in that, I'm gonna click on it and read it, or I'm not, and you don't. With the algorithm, you might not even know that I put out a video about CagriSema or had interviews with doctors like Spencer Nadolsky or Dr. Beverly Chang, or that we have an upcoming interview with Dr. Smith. That's the doctor of the 1,000-pound sisters. On June 1st, I'm sitting down for an interview with him. You may not even know that we do all that stuff. With Substack, you will know. Dr. Daniel Rosen did a great rundown on GLP-1 terms. We did a Substack on that. So it's easy, it's free. It's not like a new social media platform that you have to learn. It's newsletters. And then if you want to click on it and go into the Substack app and download it, then you can get more. We do some videos there. There's the chat is there, all these things, but it's as simple as you want it to be. And I like that. It's just a newsletter. And so I'm just, really encouraging everybody to kind of funnel over there for the time being. We'll still have our podcast here. We are still looking at, Lord willing, bringing back something similar to what Thursday night lives were maybe in the fall. On the Pen Live, of course, we had our last episode a few weeks back. Want to bring back something like that, but it won't look exactly the same. But and yes, thank you to Ro, to our sponsor for our podcast. So that's the deal, folks. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Thank you for being here for the update. Thank you for all the well wishes, the thoughts, the prayers, the good vibes, everything that y'all have sent me. It has meant the world to me over the last couple of days, 3-4 days here. And just from the bottom of my heart, I'm so grateful for you, so thankful for each and every one of you. Until next time, we'll see you over on the Substack. Thank you.